What is up, guys? Welcome on back to TK's Garage. And unfortunately, man, the Demon 170 owners are having a hard time, man. More and more of these engines are grenading, and Stellantis has no answers. They do try to block it on a warranty repair, and then when people threaten to sue, voila, magically they just fix it. Or, you know, if you're a YouTuber, they automatically fix it. But let's discuss. So, welcome on back to TK's Garage. And I know people are going to say, TK, you're beating a dead horse here, but no, the more that we talk about this, you know, whether it's myself or Butter the Insider or OC Motivator or even Racer X or any of these other guys in the Mopar community that have had experience with a Demon 170, will tell you, if you're thinking about buying one, you might want to second guess that. Yeah, it's a piece of Mopar history. Yeah, it's this and that. But it might be the worst built Challenger Hellcat derivative engine ever. I mean, I'll put it like this. Right now, they've had more Demon 170 engines blow up, grenade, require replacement than Hellcats, Red Eyes, Super Stocks combined for the same year. Only the Demon 170 engines. Why is that? Well, I think there's a couple of reasons to it. I think one is, you know, you design the engine, or you were supposed to design the engine to run on E85, right? That's part of it. Oil changers are much more frequent when you're running E85, but I'm wondering if they just said, F it, we're just going to turn the power up on this. We know that this car, and or maybe the company Dodge, might not even be around 2 or 3 years after we build them. Let's just cause a frenzy and try to make some of our crybaby dealers some money. You know, and we'll say we want these cars sold at MSRP, but we won't enforce any, you know, restrictions on the dealers. I think that's part of it. The other part is, I think they just built bad engines. I think, you know, there's several now that have either spun a bearing or they've had bearing issues. You know, they had the one that had an issue with the crank. You know, you got Larry's engine that blew up on the track. I mean, we could document these one after the other after the other. But now there's an entire Facebook group, and this and not just a Facebook group, there's also another thing in the forums too, right? That I don't say anything, I just pay attention, man. I just watch. And some of the very same people, this is so funny, some of the very same people that were mad at me and OC Motivator for going after, you know, the Demon 170 and talking about its values dropping and the price dropping and they were bad investments, and, you know, the regular thing. People, they're just talking head assholes on YouTube. Yeah, okay. Now, some of those very same individuals that are having engine issues, I literally saw this comment saying, damn, you know what? OC, Butter, and TK were right. Huh. Shocker. People are now waking up to the realization that I paid $200,000 for a car I can't even enjoy. Not, I paid $200,000 for a car and this is an investment that I'm gonna keep. I paid $200,000 for a car that's probably worth 90, and I can't even enjoy it. Yeah, I'd be pissed too. I would. I'd be extremely mad. But that's what happens with FOMO and, you know, fear of missing out and hype and all this other crap. And, you know, I think at some point some of these dealers are going to be responsible. I think some of these people that, this is the thing that the dealers didn't account for either, though, is that some of these people that were paying $200,000 plus for these Demon 170s actually have money, and it's nothing for them to retain an attorney for $2,500 to $3,000 to sue a dealership for making claims that these cars were investments. I think you're going to start seeing more of that than anything. I think you're going to see dealership groups. I think you're going to see individual dealerships get sued. I think somebody might even be crazy and sue Stellantis and the dealers over it. I think Stellantis is going to get sued over the engines in the Demon 170. The part about the Demon 170 that makes me feel the worst about it is, you know what's going to happen? These guys that have these cars bubble wrapped, basically, put away in storage with 7 miles on them or whatever, and never drove them, aren't going to drive them, think that they're keeping them because they're going to be investments or they're going to massively shoot up in value. And then they're going to get an interested party and somebody wants to hear it run, and they're going to get it fired up or get it so you can start it. And, you know, you're going to have an interested party or whatever that wants to buy it, and they're going to take it for maybe a test drive. Maybe they, you know, roll it around the storage complex that it's in, and the motor's going to grenade. It's going to happen to somebody. And then they're going to go, it's going to be one of those same people that were like, oh, no, that's not going to affect me, blah, blah, blah. And then they're going to be like, damn. Now, I will say this, outside of one engine, or no, two people that did get their engines replaced after they had to be replaced also had to get them replaced again. I think that was partially because the engines were over torqued, like with spark plugs in one case, and others, you know, where like just tore up the threads in the block, in the heads, right? I think there's going to be more cases of that. I know people that have actually got a full engine replacement with the Demon 170 haven't had as many issues once that was done. But I'll leave the question to you, man. Now that I'm seeing it, now like the FOMO is over, the hype is over on the Demon 170. Yes, there's still 380 something Demon 170s at Dodge dealers all across the country. AutoNation has a significant amount of them. And they're not selling. They want 100K over on these cars. I know some of their dealers have lowered the price to, you know, 5,000 over on some of them because they're on a floor plan. They're paying to have those cars there. Now, big corporations like AutoNation, a floor plan cost is not as detrimental to them as, you know, a smaller dealer group, you know, that's maybe a regional company or something that's only in that state. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with all these different demons. And but I leave the question to you. What do you guys think about what's going on with the Demon 170 engines? You know, I think it's an oil starvation issue. I also think that they built this car or built this engine to run on E85, and they didn't do what they needed to do with that engine to make it reliable on E85. I think that's part of it. But like I said, I leave the question to you. I'd really love to know what you guys think about this situation with the Demon 170. Is it the worst Challenger that Dodge ever built? Because in my opinion, I think it is. I feel like it's the worst Challenger ever built by Dodge. Not body-wise or whatever, but the engine has just been a disaster. Some people get great ones. I've talked about this before, whether it's, you know, Kevin Van Boris or you know, Gary hasn't had any issues with his. Brian hasn't had any issues with his. You know, Demonology. Some of these guys have had them and had no problems with them. But there's a lot of them that are having issues, and it's not a surprise to me. Anyways, like I said, let's discuss it in the comments. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Give the video a big thumbs up if you like what I do. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. And as always, stay petty, my friends. Whoopee!